everyone, I'm Sacha King from 2.two.one Mental Health Charity, and thanks for joining us on Surviving ISO. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about a different perspective on isolation than what we've been talking lately. We're going to be talking about getting back some of that motivation and still having those goals that we had before, and how we can feel a little bit better about our day-to-day and maybe get a bit of a new mindset around things. We're really lucky to be joined today by Mark Barnes from Mark Barnes Coaching. He is a transformational coach and a Master of NLP and Hypnosis coaching. So thanks for being here today, Mark.
Thank you. Appreciate the opportunity to be involved.
So I guess some people might not really know much about coaching and sort of the things that you do. Can you give us a little bit of insight to what you do and who you are and where you work?
So first and foremost, I'm a father of two amazing little kids. I'm a long-term Territorian. I've been up here 41 years. So I've seen a couple of changes over that time. And yeah, as you mentioned, I'm a transformational coach and speaker. Help people reconnect with their purpose and passion, and really just to help them release any pain of their past and put together a strategy for the future.
So let's start on that point about how we can make it a little bit better for people when people are feeling so stressed, or they're anxious, they're worried about things, or feeling overwhelmed that their house suddenly has a whole bunch more people, or they have to work or study from home. What are some things in our mindset that might help us to be a bit more positive in this time of change?
Understanding that there's no denying that, that things have changed, and we need to remain positive. And despite everything that we may feel is happening to us at the moment, there's still so much to be positive about and to be thankful for. If this too shall pass, it's a moment in time, a blip on the radar, so to speak. So accept that we can't control this. We can't control other people, other circumstances, events. The only thing that we can control is ourselves. And our life is a reflection of our choices, our behaviours and our beliefs, So we need to choose them wisely. And right now we can choose to make the most of this if we really want to.
Yeah, and so if people are feeling like pretty unmotivated right now, or just having some struggle, is there some ways that they can sort of change their mindset to be a bit more positive?
Yeah, definitely. Again, we have a choice to make. We can choose to feel unmotivated and unproductive, or we can choose to make the most of this time. And the opportunity that we've been given, there's so much potential in this time. I think people are so fearful that they're being drawn into a scarcity mindset. But I think it's having solace and understanding that so many businesses have been very successful and started in recessions and depressions. Disney, Apple, IBM, Burger King. There's so many that have started that have survived through those bad times, and they've gone on to thrive, which is no reason why we can't. People will be making a fortune in this process as well. As just as quick as people are losing it, people are making fortunes. So there's opportunities within this circumstance.
So if people are feeling pretty stressed and overwhelmed, and they're just feeling like they're not getting as much done in their day-to-day, what might be some ways that they could stay motivated and, feeling a bit more productive?
Strategy and routines are so imperative to our success. Our morning routine is what drives and creates ours. So what we do in the first hour of our morning, it actually determines what we'll get out of the rest of the day. So, a big part of it is, this may not be too popular, but the best thing you can do first thing in the morning and the first hour of every day is not look at your phone. And the moment you look at it is the moment you start to react to what you're reading. So just use the first hour of your day. The first hour of your day should be all about you and establishing your intentions for it. So that's a big part.
Yeah.
Taking that for self-care, self-love, So have a rock solid morning routine every day, and just that is your priority. That is your time, and accepting and owning that part of that day. Because once we go out and we start looking at the external world, that's when we start reacting to it. So a morning routine, it could be get up, make your bed, drink a glass of water, brush your teeth, exercise, meditate, just breathe. The rest of the world can wait. Write down 10 things that you're grateful for. Write down your daily goals and tasks, and eat a healthy breakfast. And then once you've looked after yourself, know that you've done the best thing for you and the best thing for the people around you by doing exactly that.
Yeah, I really like that sort of setting up your day, not around sort of other people, but maybe looking after yourself a little bit first thing in the morning and working out, what you'd like to do for that day, or, how you're feeling that day, or what you need to do that day. That's such a setting. Yeah, I like the idea of setting up for a productive day, or just a day that you think about yourself rather than being reactive to everything around you.
And it's so easy to put off, so much, all too often we walk away from the things that we need to do willingly and voluntarily because we want to support the people around us. But we need to sort of take that step and understand that by looking after ourselves and servicing ourselves and filling up our own cup first, we are actually in a much better position to support those people around us. So the self-sacrificing, albeit noble, is probably the worst way of actually getting and supporting the people around you to help them achieve what they want to achieve.
Yeah, especially at the moment with maybe a lot of people in your household, or you not being able to do the normal things you'd do to have a break from people and things like that.
Definitely, probably a good time to disconnect and just sort of detach. Just find a quiet room in the house and go, be it in the garage, be it in the study, be it outside. Just make that space for yourself to really give yourself that time, because especially with young kids, they'll come at you thick and fast all day because they'll be over the moon. They'll have all this energy that they need to burn, and you're right there. So it'll be mom, dad. So yes, definitely, you need to take that time and to I guess establish those boundaries with your family, and explain why you need to do it, and let them know that there's nothing wrong with being able to do it and choosing that time and taking that time for yourselves, and encouraging your kids and your family as well to do that for themselves, so they have that detachment as well, and that bit of that solitude, that time to reflect and sort of process everything that's happening with them.
Yeah, I can imagine that young people also maybe studying for like year 11 and year 12, or having a lot of assignments due at the moment, might also be feeling a similar stress with just being home with their parents also working from home when they're used to going to school and have studying hours and things like that.
Oh, definitely, most definitely. It's the clashing agendas and priorities cause a lot of dramas in relationships, especially when it comes to the husband and wife, if they're both working. That's sort of when something's got to submit. If you have two tasks that both need to do something at the same time, it's that's when conflict can arise, and that's the bit where we need to sort of have a good strategy and a good structure and a good routine to sort of work through this process, because without it, it's just first in, best dressed, and that's where people's feelings and emotions come into play.
Yeah, I know with me and my partner, I always feel like mine is the more important one, but who's to say that? I'm a bit biased. We might move on to the next question I have for you, which is that right now, I've only just got to the point where I can think about my tomorrow or next week, but I also am a little aware is that I'm not setting the same sort of goals as I did into the future because of the unknown. Is there a way that we can still set goals in this time of uncertainty?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's again, it's prioritizing and that need and understanding why. And I guess there's a lot of uncertainty at the moment. There's no denying that. And understand that uncertainty creates fear. And the best way to overcome fear is actually with certainty. So you need that certainty in your life to work through the fear that you may be experiencing. One thing that is certain though is that without goals, you will not create a strategy. And without a strategy, you will not create change. So if you want to create change in your life, you need to set goals. That's simple. So let's try this. We'll do a bit of an exercise. So I'd urge people, have a think of this. Without goals, what does your future look like? Is it positive or is it negative? Does it reflect your potential or does it reflect your current position? What impact has it had on your dreams and aspirations? What impact has it had on your health, your finances, your relationship, and your life? All of these things are impacted by fear. Again, how do you overcome fear? It's with certainty, which is why we have to look at goal setting as a must. Because within the strategies behind your goals, we set tasks. And when we complete the task, we feel good about ourselves. Our confidence levels increase. And when we feel good about ourselves, we're confident in our ability to complete tasks. We allow ourselves to dream. And behind every dream lies a goal. How crazy is that? So you see how this all works? Just keeps going round and round and round and just keeps getting better and better and better. And the dreams and goals and everything just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And that's how we, success is incremental, and that's how we do that. It all starts with something as simple as creating a goal. So we have to do it. That's why you have to look and have to treat goals as a must.
Yeah, it sounds like, it's a bit of a cycle there of if the goal's not there, it's impacting so many aspects of our lives. If people are feeling a bit like they are, really just not able to sort of think past right now in this moment, which is also fine, but they might want to be able to set some goals. Is there anything that's going to help them to just set some simple goals to feel a little bit more satisfied with their day-to-day, or getting some of that reward and task and rewards feedback?
With that's a great point. It doesn't have to be monumental tasks. These are incremental. The world and our lives have changed. So rather than having these massive dreams and aspirations right now, we can just have a strategy. We've got a great opportunity to reconnect with ourselves, our partners, our kids, and it's just really trying to make the most of that time and look at what you can do. It could be as simple as, okay, our goal for today is we don't want to spend half an hour playing a board game. So they don't always have to be big aspirational goals or dreams. They just need to be incremental. And again, the benefits of that tasking and that strategy to our subconscious it's priceless. It'll help us, again, create that certainty in our lives by knowing that, okay, we're doing this, check, it's done. So it becomes very routine, very structured, and that inherently with us provides us with the certainty that we need to work through what could be a fearful time.
Yeah, and it sounds like you kind of are talking a little bit about aligning it with someone's values of I want to spend family time today, or I want to get this done today. So I guess that sort of connection with who you are and what you want to achieve in that day. And is there any tips that you'd give people sort of just for their day-to-day, just to feel a little bit more motivated, or, be able to set some tasks? Is there just a couple things that people could do daily just to improve that mindset a little bit?
Gratitude journaling is one of them. Writing a journal, again, writing those 10 tasks, those 10 points down. So you're allowing yourselves and the way that you're thinking to appreciate the opportunities and what's around you and the time that you've got. So training and utilizing the language that we have available to us to word it positively. Gratitude journaling is huge. Again, there's an opportunity there to all the information. We live in a wonderful age of information. So the I am affirmations on YouTube, to take 10 minutes and just let them wash over you in a bit of quiet time. So there's things that you can do definitely to do that. To think about yourself, to start thinking about what life looks like past all of this. We've got an amazing opportunity again now to give ourselves and to skill up and to level up and to give ourselves the resources we need to achieve everything past all this. And that's awesome. It's an amazing opportunity that we have, and we've sort of been given this time right now to achieve it and to go after it. So it's just a matter of prioritizing that and finding the strategies that are out there to support you to achieve your desired goal.
I think something I've heard you say quite a few times is sort of opportunities and making decisions. And is there a way that people can kind of tune into when they do have a decision? So we quite often just go straight to our sort of normal behavior that we'd normally do, or doing what we normally do. Is there a way that we can stop and recognize when there is an opportunity?
One of the tricks working through this, I guess the next stage is, and really focusing on the mindset is we need becoming consciously aware of our unconscious behaviors. Now that comes down to our language that we use, our dialogue, verbally, our internal dialogue, our thoughts, our beliefs, our behaviors, our actions. So it's all those things that we're we do them unconsciously and we just do them out of habit. But if you can become consciously aware of those things and catch yourself when they're negative, and just take the moment to sit there and go, okay, well, why did I choose to think that, or choose to accept that behavior, or to choose to think that behavior was acceptable? Because especially if it's not conducive to what it is that you want to achieve, it is there'll be always something behind that you may need to work through. And just by questioning yourself and asking yourself why you chose to accept that behavior, that thought, that belief, once you do that, you can start to catch yourself in that moment. You can change that behavior, you can change that thought pattern. And that's, again, where you start to work on your mindset and work through and creating more empowering behaviors and beliefs moving forward.
Yeah, so maybe it's a great time now just to be a bit more self-reflective and recognize, what things you do and don't like about your behaviors, and trying to pick up when those opportunities are just in yourself.
Yes, definitely. We've got the time now. We've got no choice but to do it. So I believe at the moment, a lot of people can be struggling as well, because we can use the world and life and the day-to-day life to keep ourselves busy, so we don't need to do that. But it's great. We need to work through this if we actually want to get through to, if we want we can empower our kids by working through our own problems. And it's a great opportunity now to be able to take that time to sit there, rather than being so external, just to bring it back into ourselves and who we are, and really focus on what it is that we want, what it is that we wanted to achieve, our goals, our dreams for when we're a kid, our current circumstances. We can create this wonderful situation now, and take this time to turn that into a positive. A lot of people avoid it because it's always negative. They always thought it was such a negative thing. But the power by being able to work through that is amazing. And the release that you get by being able to do it changes the lives around you. So, when we're so close at the moment, especially in a household environment, it's a perfect opportunity to do it.
I think that people will really hear that and just maybe stop in some of their decisions and just say, what are my options here? What are the opportunities here, and what is the choice here? So if they can do that and try and think a little bit more about some of the options that might be more a positive way of thinking or cause less conflict, it might be a lot easier way to function right now, stuck in our four walls.
Something to think about. Again, it's no matter how close we are when it comes to proximity, we receive 11 million bits of information every second, but we can only process 128. So we delete, distort, and generalize all of that information that we receive based on our experiences, our values, and our beliefs, and that creates our internal representation. So our internal representation combined with our state. So, are we feeling happy or sad? Are we full of energy, or are we feeling flat? And our physiology, which is how we're using our body, combined creates our behaviors. Now, we can sit there and I guess I work through the internal representation side. I help people improve their internal representation by removing limiting beliefs and installing empowering behaviors. But if we're in a position where we are feeling a little bit flat and we're feeling a bit down, or the mood in the house isn't quite there, then we have the opportunity to change our state, and we can actually change our mindset by changing the way that we are using our body. So there may be some things that we need to work with in the internal representation, but that still needs to be combined with our physiology and our state to create our behaviors. So if we individually can control them ourselves. You can, if you're feeling flat and tired, you can get up and you can jump around, you can go for a run, dance, crank some music up and have a dance. You can do star jumps. You can do anything that'll get the heart pumping and the blood flowing, will help improve that situation. If we're sad or angry, we just got to smile, and we've got to smile from the heart and the soul. And when we smile, we physically can't be sad or angry because our brain can't do both. So we have the ability to change our situations at a moment ourselves, and that's perfect. We don't have to all have to know NLP and hypnotherapy and everything to fix our situation. We just need to be able to catch ourselves in the moment where, we're a bit down, or where the language that we're using, or our behaviours aren't conducive to what the environment that we want to create, and we can change it. And that's again, we start with becoming consciously aware of those unconscious behaviours. And if you can do that, you can work through anything. It's awesome.
I love that. I quite often go for a run when I'm feeling a bit down or stressed, but I like dancing way better, so I'm going to try that next time.
And the kids love to dance too, so get them up, put some music on and have a dance around the house. It'll be awesome.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm excited to get sad or angry. That's a bit of a funny thing to say. So my last question for you, Mark, is just if you're going to give someone one bit of advice to take away from today. I know we've discussed so many different ideas, but what might be just, a little bit of an overview of a few ideas that someone could take away and implement into their lives to feel a little bit more motivated and a little bit more able to set their goals?
The main thing at the moment, especially now, given the time that we've got, and the opportunity to be distracted, but there's so many things that can distract us, be it online, on TV or whatever, they're just there. All they are is distractions. So forget those and just focus on you, Focus on your strategies and your routines to get through this stage and what it looks like afterwards. Right now, most of us, we need new strategies and routines. It's just what we have to do. Be it a business, be it at home, be it a family, relationships. We just need different strategies, and that's perfect. But within each of us, though, is the ability to achieve anything that we put our minds to. If we can perceive it, we can achieve it. And that's great. And if you haven't achieved it, it just means that there's nothing. It doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you. It just means that you don't have the right strategy. And again, we have that opportunity now to learn those new strategies. And for me, that's where coaching comes in, to help people develop those skills and those strategies to work through it. But past that, I guess, finally, comparison is the thief of joy. So don't compare your life to others. You need to run your own race. That 128 bits of information that you process are yours and yours alone. They are based on your experiences, your life, no one else's. And no one else has lived your life. So there's no point you trying to live someone else's. Focus on you. Love yourself for being you. But you have a gift. We're born with a gift. We all have that one thing within us, which is our thing, and that's perfect. And right now we have the time and opportunity to connect with it. So let's make the most of it.
Yeah, awesome. I love that sort of end saying about, yourself and looking after yourself and working out what you need from this time, because everyone is so different and going to deal with this so differently. So thank you so much for sharing all this with us and giving us so many ideas. I know that I've got a few ideas of things that I could do in my day a little bit better, especially the morning with doing something for myself in the morning. I think that's something I'm going to really implement from our talk today. Morning routines
are key. And if you can do it consistently, the results and the benefits to our mind, our body, and our life experience is amazing. So yes.
So thank you so much for joining us, Mark. So it's Mark Barnes from Mark Barnes Coaching. We'll put your email in the description and your website in the description for the video. And thanks everyone for joining us. I'm Sacha King from 2.2.one Mental Health Charity, and thank you for improving your wellness.